And we are live. Hello, Internet, and everybody that's wonderful and beautiful people,
Yes.
which is everyone.
Everyone. I missed all of our fans.
I did too.
We have like fans, like machine fans or hand fans or what kind of fans?
I'm not fans. I just realized my wife turned off the fan. I'm going to go one.
All these people already eager to get on. Awesome. Hey guys, how you doing?
My
Exhausted.
camera, oh, wow. We're already up to going up to 6. My browser still says 2 waiting. Oh, just updated. 7 watching.
Oh, awesome.
All right. So
Awesome.
today, before we always get off on a tangent, I figured we should talk about some of the cool new releases. Uh, kind of was it some black, something to do with like rocks, castle,
Yeah.
Blackstone castle.
Oh, we got a Blackstone pyramid, New Age of Sigma. Is that what it
Blackstone
is?
pyramid.
Blackstone pyramids.
Blackstone. Oh yeah, that's right. Fortress. Blackstone Fortress coming out, as well as I got a little bit of a sneak peek of this potato picture here of the Christmas launches for the forces.
Yep.
You want to know what I see?
Tell me, yes, sir.
So I'm going to read this potato quality picture so I can best read it. So it looks like the Space Marine Primaris Interdiction Force.
I got something to go with that after the fact of some take with salt rumors
Oh, these aren't rumors. These are actually this
No.
is an actual picture taken
with
from
the Primaris. Because of that Primaris box set, there's some future possibly take with salt rumors about a Primaris something. I'm not going to say what yet. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay. All right. So we'll put a pin in that. Let's see. We got Adeptus Mechanicus Fists of the Omnissiah.
For the Void Dragon?
Yes. No. Void Dragon. Man, these. I'm looking at a picture like that's this big, and it looks like someone turned the page so it would be blurry and crap.
Oh, you need a better picture?
I'm good.
I've got like a super high quality picture. I don't know what you're looking at.
Necron Dominion Spearhead. Craftworld Asuryani Blade Host. Imperial Fists Supremacy Force. That's interesting. A specific chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Most people already know about the Edenith Deepkin.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Daughters of Cain.
Mm-hmm.
Devoted of Morathai.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Seraphon Starclaw Strike Host.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one are the Slaves of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Godsworn Warband. Yes. Those looks like the Christmas releases. Besides, the paint pot and all the other crap that came out.
Well, that's awesome. Wish I would want to get back into doing my 100th Space Marine Army because those box sets look pretty awesome. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a good Christmas for anybody just wanting to get into the game or expand their army. That's,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't see what the prices were for those deals, but I don't know if you or Ski has got that.
Maybe Ski's got a better picture for me because I'm going to do this.
I don't. Mine didn't have prices on it. Mine was just everything that's coming out for Christmas.
Oh, cool. Mine has everything but American dollars.
Yeah, I see that too. I see. I've got, I think, probably near the same image. Yeah, it looks. I'm not going to try to figure out.
Let me grab something.
Let's see, everything
I'm gonna
looks the
assume.
same range. So I can do SG, which is Singapore.
Oh, we got Singapore dollars? Heck yeah, that's the way to go, man.
Yeah, so Singapore dollars, we're looking, everything looks across the board about, yeah, it's all the same. 240 Sing, which comes out to be in American,
American.
$174.86. So probably it's going to be in a range of 169
To about 210.
to or 179.99. So
I can't.
169.99 to 179.99. Probably less because they're not shipping to Singapore, which is one of the most
Yes.
expensive places to live ever or to exist in. My
Wow.
wife used to live there.
Around. I've got another thing that somebody just sent me. It's like, hey, about 23,000 yen or 180 pounds. So probably
About
around. I don't have my I can get my calculator up here.
Isn't 183 around like 210, around 210, 220?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because every year, every Christmas, the box set's around $200.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I don't know what type of value you're gonna. I need to see a better picture of the contents, but
Well,
looks like you'll probably at the very least, if it follows all the other formats, you'll probably at least get about a $50 value at the very minimum.
Yep.
yeah, I think they're all going to be value from what it looks like. Trying to look at all the pictures.
Well, while you're looking at the pictures, so one of the rumors, since we're talking about, like, there's a lot of Marine forces, which is really cool. But there's been, remember all the leaks pictures that we had with, like, oh, that could be a Primaris transport or, like, back in the day, right? So what's been coming up a lot lately, even from one of my sources, is there might be a named Space Marines Primaris chapter coming out with their own book.
Interesting.
And the pictures that we've been seeing with the leaked, we were like, oh, Primaris transport. They're saying that is a, what do we call it? Like, so you have the, what's the tank? The Redemption or whatever, Redemptor or whatever? Or no, Repulsor. So that's going to be a kit for the Repulsor. So, like, it's either a Repulsor or a transport.
Ooh.
And then there was, let's see if I can find give me a moment to find my my little thingamabobber. Hold on.
Oh my.
Oh yes. And it's not yours, it's mine. What are you talking about?
I just said, oh my.
You said, oh mine, yeah.
Oh my.
Let's see here. There's another picture of like this weird, it looks like a backpack, which somebody dissected it, and it's actually the exact same as a Primaris backpack. So they're actually thinking it could be a, take with a grain of salt, either a Tech Marine backpack, which will be a Primaris Tech Marine, or a Primaris Apothecary. And as well, so the other part of the rumor is that it will be, let's see here, the Tech Marine might be in the chapter approved, possibly. But what was it? It was had to do with the release. You won't see any big releases for that chapter, except for maybe the transport, but you will see a bunch of characters for that chapter.
Interesting.
Now, again, take it with a grain of salt, but you know,
Name characters?
named characters.
Okay.
For that Primaris chapter. Librarians, captains, apothecaries, Tech Marine. What's that?
The new chapter?
Yeah, it'd be a brand new Primaris chapter. There's no Primaris chapter. No one has
Oh, I guess you're right. I guess all the Primaris join the chapter.
Exactly. This will be a Primaris only chapter, which I already knew that it's gonna come eventually, and that's just the way they're folding things into the new models, basically. But yeah, that's what I've got for Primaris.
Oh,
That's awesome. Well, you know, and when I look at, I'll have to go dig up the new Space Marine Codex. I think they did mention at least one or two strictly Primaris chapters that they had stood up. I don't know if they showed pictures of the chapter symbol, so I wonder if it's one of those that they had mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler's like, he thought same thing. I would go get the Codex, but it's about 7.5 feet away from me, and that's too far.
You need one of those little poles with the clampy hands on it. It seems like.
I ate a very big meal, so it's like I don't really want to move. Kind of come.
so
Being like fat bastard, like eating the baby. Get in my belly. I'm bigger than you.
All right, I'm gonna get the book. Hold on a second.
Okay, there we go.
Oh.
did you just roll over there? I feel like I watched John roll over there.
Oh, God bless it. It's like 15 feet I just had to cover.
Only 15.
Oh, I'm happy.
Like, is that 15 feet in like actual feet or like your feet?
I don't know, man. Trying to be a bit funny here. Stop getting technical.
No, I was trying to be funny.
It was like 6 steps.
Let's see here. Oh, this will require way too much reading. Blah blah blah. I don't recognize any of these chapters.
I like the blah 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 chapter. I'm gonna start one.
One of my favorites. Oh, here we go. Here's one. It's a Raven Guard successor called the Rift Stalkers.
Are they ripped? Like
Rift.
all back? Like
Not Rift or whatever you said. Rift.
I don't know what you're saying.
Rift. RIFT.
Oh, rift.
Rift.
Today at FNP English, we're going to discuss the words of rift.
I'm sure there's one more. I think not the Destroyers. The Storm Reapers. They are a successor to White Scars. Did you hear that one? Did I say it? Storm Reapers.
Hey, I'm really glad you said storm and not storm reapers.
What the heck is Storm?
I don't know. It's a very southern thing. People say storm. Like I'm gonna wash my clothes.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I'm a northerner, so
I'm a Westerner.
Me too. I'm originally from Oregon. The Oregons.
That's not northern. That's western. Where are you like?
That's
Didn't teach that in
northwest.
high school.
That's the Northwest.
That's the west.
But I did go to school in Mississippi, where I got a real good book learning.
So before I get into, I've got one rumor that got past me, and it sounds like it's actually it's 100% confirmed. I just haven't seen the artwork, but I'll get to that in a minute. The Horus Heresy or the Black Library Weekender, I think, just passed. And a lot, they're finally, 4 years later, are starting the Siege of Terra. Whether that's because the Horus Heresy novels have been kind of waning because they've been milking it for the past 4 years, or they're just now at the natural conclusion of the storyline. You decide. But they're starting the Solar War that's the first part of the the Siege of Terra, which is going to be a 6-part book series. So
a global campaign.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see. I'm sorry, not 6-book, 8-book. Yeah, and I'm hoping that it's going to be all out before the end of the year. We don't have to wait another 8 years to get the book. I'm really hoping, because I don't want to wait that long just to see what the conclusion of it is. I mean, I skipped over. I think I stopped at. I stopped at Vulcan Lives, I think, and then I picked up, Unremembered Empire, and then I picked up again at, I think it was Praetor of Dorn. whichever one was the Dorn book where he fought Alfarius or Omegon or whichever one it was.
I can only enjoy the ones that are read to me. That book learning thing, remember?
Well, oh yes. Well, you know, if you like the audio stuff, there is a Our Martyred Lady. It's going to be a audio book, kind of like the Gotrex one that just came out, and it's going to be about Saint Celestine, some Black Templars, and Inquisitor Grey Fox or Grey Fax? Grey Fox. Grey Fax. And if anybody watches like Doctor Who or a couple other British TV shows, the lady Catherine Tate, who used to play Donna Noble on Doctor Who, or one of the most recent Doctor Who's, she's actually doing the voice of Grey Fax. They've got a couple other people, I can't think of their names offhand, but they pulled out a lot of talent for Our Martyred Lady. So I'm kind of excited about that. And there's another, I can never pronounce the guy's name right, but the Horus Heresy, Anil, I don't know. Thiel, the guy that, the Ultramarine guy that, where the red helmet, where the red helmets that the Ultramarines would have, now denotes that you're a sergeant. But before it was like you did something pretty shameful, so it was like a mark of shame. Well, he turned things around and kind of helped, not single-handedly, but his tactics and everything helped turn around the whole war. He's got another audio drama coming out too, so I'm excited about that.
Oh.
The character's really, really cool. He'll sit there. He got in trouble for coming up with all these strategies to fight other Space Marines, and that was at a time that all the Legionnaires were all brothers and cousins and uncles or whatever. They were all on each other's side. So he was just kind of theorizing, well, if we ever have to fight each other, how are we going to do it? And that's what got him in trouble.
So he basically was playing 8th edition.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But it's really cool with this story, so I'd recommend checking it out. But so the only other rumor I have, and I'm pretty sure one of our listeners, watchers right now, probably, or you guys can verify, that box set that's coming up. Was it Wrath and?
Yep. Wrath and Glory.
Oh, was it?
Was it Wrath and Glory?
Yeah, Wrath and Glory, not Kink Shame. Same thing. I was thinking Slanesh, Kink Shame. You know.
Right.
Two of the models that we have not seen that are either in the box or is going to be released alongside is going to be Karnak, the super flesh hound for Khorne.
A new model.
Yeah, he's getting totally revamped. From what I was told, is going to be like a Cerberus style model, like Great Lore, and some of those images that we've seen, like the rumor engine that GW puts out, they're some sort of Slanesh harpist. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's like she plays the harp and is she just a character? Is she a musician? I don't know. But that got sent to me this morning also.
Almost like you said something else for a second, so that's cool.
Yeah. And possible, the other one was, Wrath and Rapture. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Wrath and Rapture. Okay, yeah, okay.
So not Kink Shame? Huh. That's weird.
Man, what's your favorite thing?
Wrath and Glory, that's the role-playing books, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Blood and Glory or something. Maybe I was mixing all together.
Right, that's the New York video.
I was still in the genre. I'm still there. The other thing that I got passed to me is that there'll probably be next year, probably sometime after third quarter. So I'm expecting probably March, April. There'll be an expansion, probably, or the announcement for an expansion for Blackstone Fortress. This is supposed to be an ongoing thing. It's not just a one and done. So we might be able to expect future expansions for that game, which will lead us to a Lost in the Dam style codex that I had talked about past couple episodes how they're going to be pulling all the miniatures from like Blackstone Fortress and the Rogue Trader book and adding them into or Rogue Trader Kill Team. How they're going to be incorporating them all into one big book.
I want to point out that Tyler wrote he was in D&D group where the DM had a thick Southern accent, and at first, whenever he said gold, he thought he was saying goat, and I was really confused about the nature of the treasure.
Yeah. Well, he also. I'm not going to repeat that. Well, we probably have no kids on. He also said, I'm assuming about the harpist. She only knows the brown note, but Slaanesh people are into it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the model, or at least the artwork for it. I'd like to see what to expect. And the Karnak. I'm sure I'm getting that name right. I don't know too much about the demon side of things.
Yeah, I played him at Wargamers Con. Oh. I slaughtered him quick, but man, he hits hard.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I remember that he got a new model, I thought, in 6th or 7th edition, or maybe that was his first model.
I think it was his first.
Okay. It was all fine cast, if I recall. So a nice new plastic one.
I think it was metal first, and then they moved him to fine cast.
Okay, that's probably at that time that they're like, hey, we got this great idea. Let's do fine cast.
It was the best idea in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, Frank was just mentioned he would like to see vaguely competitive Slaanesh rules. Wait till this Wrath and Rapture comes out. I imagine we said before, I think both Ski and I said before that Slaanesh is going to be the next demon thing, obviously, to get updated. And it looks like it might not be at the end of the year, but probably be first year, because I think was it this year? Nurgle showed up in the first half of the year.
Yep.
So it probably expects Slaanesh then, because they've been needing a big upgrade anyway. So yeah, I'm expecting they're going to get a nice book and they're going to be competitive, and they'll probably be almost like an anti-orc list. I'm not intentionally, but I have a feeling they're going to be the opposite of the orc, or like a good opponent, I guess, play-wise.
Probably. It's always that power creep is real.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. So that's it for my rumors.
So I'm doing this noble cause. You know how October is for breast cancer, right?
Correct.
Well, November is actually for testicular cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And you participate by doing No Shave November.
Don't. Wait.
And look, everyone gets to enjoy this month and my adventure of my awesome neckbeard.
Awesome.
I thought you were going somewhere else when you're talking about testicular stuff, so I'm just gonna.
Nope, just talk about neckbeards.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to know that we all shave that.
Oh,
yeah.
Just kind of off the topic, you're talking about fundraisers. So this last weekend, I just want to throw this out there, let people know. We did a Extra Life gaming weekend for a friend of ours. His kid has cancer, and so the goal was, we are part of Extra Life, and the grant. I gave this guy the title. He is the main guy in Houston that holds all the Extra Life, like does the area, and so I gave him the title Grand Master. So he's going to start running with it now, which is great. Well, he did his thing and helped support and whatnot. We ended up getting over our goal. A friend of mine, Brian, stayed up for over 40 hours. And we had it at his house. And FNP / Tamakabi let us use some terrain and some mats to play some Age of Sigmar. We did some modified Path of Glory, 4 games or 3 games. I think it was 3 games. I don't know. But it was a great weekend. We gamed a lot. So, it's still out there to donation, but like half the donation was going to go for a Switch so she could play in the hospital.
Cool.
Awesome.
And then we got a lot more than we expected. So, but yeah, it turned out great.
How'd you get the donation?
how do you donate?
Did you just film it live, or how'd that work?
We just linked. We just took a lot of pictures and then linked the extra life of our team. It's called the Nerd Herd for that donation part.
Okay.
So you can read the story, what we're trying to donate, and then they just donate. And
Oh, cool.
So, but it goes until December, so it's not over. Just our weekend was last weekend to do it, and it's gaming for 24 hours basically. So.
Oh, wow.
But thank you for FNP. Thank you for Tom Cobby for help sponsoring some of the gaming material. So I just want to talk about there.
Of course.
Awesome. Now I want to do something like that.
That's cool. I think we do it every year.
Awesome. I have to look into doing something like that.
This year was just dedicated to a friend of, a friend's that we know, this kid. So.
I mean, I like the idea of No Shave November. I'm doing that, keeping my back nice and hairy. I'm not very good on growing a lot of the facial hair because it just kind of like, but my back, man, I'm like a bear skin rug.
Wow.
Yes. Well, I'm half Portuguese, half Russian, so I just kind of this month I decided I'm not going to shave it. We're just going to leave it alone. And
so you shave your back off then?
Oh yeah, man.
Takes a weed whacker.
How do you do that?
He hires somebody with a lawnmower or a weed whacker, and then.
Well, before it used to be very difficult slapping nair on my back, but I could do it at a point. But there was this back blade Kickstarter I did, and it's basically this ergonomical blade. It's like the blades are like 4 inches long, and it's like a double blade, and you can get any spot on your back without.
I'm wondering how far you're going to go with either the BS or this is real and you actually invested in this. Oh my God, he's going to go get it. Oh my God. Oh.
You shouldn't have asked.
Well, he had me going about this, on the other show about the Imperial Knight FAQ, and I was like, what? Did you get it? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me click you so I can
Almost
see
looks
it.
like a spatula or something.
Yeah,
You like take your.
Yeah, it looks like a spatula, but these they're probably about 3-inch blades. You can get actually a bigger ones, but yeah, this thing.
Okay.
Amazing.
So wait. You can get your back. You can even go further, correct?
Yeah. Any side I can bend it like that. Do that.
You get shaving cream on your back.
Oh, you don't need to. You don't have to worry.
Raise it on the wall. I think this goes.
But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna share a secret.
Uh-oh.
It's been embarrassing. When I first tried this blade, put a little too much pressure, and when I was like, "Oh man, that hurt!" Look at the blade. I was like, "What is this?" I had pulled off this like 3-inch by 2-inch patch of skin, and I was like, "Oh God! Oh my God!" And I looked in the mirror and I was like, "Oh God!" So I was wrapped up a towel on the wall, and I leaned back against the wall to put pressure on.
That's absolutely horrifying.
So now I would make a military joke and say only a Marine would do something like that.
Hey, I gotta keep traditions alive. So.
Oh my God, that's like crap you see in a movie, man.
I know, right?
It didn't come with the TM or nothing?
No.
Huh?
Actually, there was a video I could have watched on YouTube, and I was like, watch a video? Why do I want to watch a video? It's easy.
Why do I watch the guy shave his back?
That's awesome.
Who wants to watch that? Really? Oh, man.
So
Okay, let me ask a serious question.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I don't have any hair on my back. Is it that big of a problem? Like you have to shave it?
I don't like it. Now, mind you, I'm exaggerating on how bad it is, but I just don't like it. It's unsightly. So, that's why I shave it. It's not like, I can go out into sub-zero weathers, with just a pair of shorts on or anything like that. But yeah.
So back on the ranch.
Oh,
I'm serious though. I've got this, like this, basically this scar on my back. It's about, like I said, about 3 inches long, about 2 inches wide.
okay.
And no, Tyler, it is not itchy.
Did you dark Eldar it and put it on like pin it and stretch it out?
It's part of his cover on one of his books.
No, it was like, oh my god.
He grabs some super glue.
Put it back.
Panic mode. I was in full panic mode. I am not kidding, man. I'm glad there was nobody else here because, knowing my friends or I think the girl I was dating at that time would have videotaped it and totally be up on right now.
I would have done it for you.
Did you get a Band-Aid? How did you get a Band-Aid on your back?
I didn't. I stood up against that wall with that towel pressed on that until the bleeding stopped.
I'm talking about when you have to keep it covered to keep it sanitized. Like, you just have it open. Okay.
Oh, that's where the whole Marine thing comes in. I was like, it's not bleeding. It's good.
It could have. There's so many things that could go wrong.
Yeah, it could have. I mean, I did get blood on my brand new sheets. I was not happy.
So trying to steer this back over.
All right, so back to 40K.
Did you guys read about the whole China cast GW basically shutting down the China cast, one of the China casters?
Oh no!
One of the what? Billion?
A major China cast is closing up shop after being contacted by GW. They wrote a letter to them, and so they basically said, well, we're going to fulfill the orders, but then from there on, we're done. Like, that was it.
Wow.
Like, I don't know, like, let me see if I can see. Okay, here's what the China casters said. Hello, dear buyer. Today we received a mail title is infringement on Games Workshop Limited's intellectual property rights from Games Workshop. It means they already know we sell recast models and ask us immediately cease and desist from any activity which infringes Games Workshop's intellectual property rights. Under pressure from GW, we decided to stop selling recast models for the month. And something else. Number one, we will send out all existing orders in 6 to 15 days. Please contact us. If you want to check your orders instead of open a PayPal case, we will settle all of our stocks. If you need more information, please contact us. And last, I want to thank you all and support and all that stuff. So
they had stock? Oh, stock, as in like their stock of stuff.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So
well,
I'm with you.
Since I know a lot of people that are artists that do actual paintings or artwork or even sculpting, I get it, because they're infringing on somebody else's property that they've sat there and made, and they're making money off of it. But I don't know how to say the but part. I'm not going to condone or tell people, hey, go out there and pirate stuff. Don't do it. But we all know we have. It just
it's your wallet.
Yeah, it's your wallet. Man. Well, I guess it's
GW really wants their money. They're like, hey, we just raised prices on everything. We want that money.
It makes sense. You can't hold. I think some people get ticked off when GW does stuff like this, but just like all the 3D printers, you're trying to protect your intellectual property and not have people make money off of something that you've made like that, where you're not getting a cut of it, basically. So, I mean, look at all the guys that do the shoulder pads, like Pop Goes the Monkey and Custom Minis and a couple of the other ones, Spellcrow and such. I mean, they've had to go through a lot of changes just to be able to sell shoulder pads that GW doesn't make.
Yeah, I remember seeing Pop Goes the Monkey popped up in my Facebook feed, and it was like talking about it, how I think it was complaining about it, about like how is this even close to yada yada, and I gotta change it, and it looked like an Imperial Fist, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so he had to change it, obviously. But yeah, you see it a lot. You know, it they don't
But
play, man. They have an entire department that just does this.
yeah.
So
And like Clint just said on the chat, is that closing shop for now and give it a month, and they'll reopen under another name. I've seen. I got emails from way back before I started working for Games Workshop, and I bought Recast before that, and um, I know that some of the old buyers were like, "Hey, I'm operating under this new email address, this new name, everything." And it's usually because they get a cease and desist letter, I'm guessing. So just give it a while; they'll pop back up.
yeah, no, they. I mean, and like you said, a major one. There's so many out there. You
Yeah,
can't just say, "Oh, well, this one went down. I guess it's all out from here." I mean, I've heard of there's China casts, there's Russian casts now that
yeah,
do it better. So
yeah.
it's just
I'm on the fence with it because I mean I've done it before, and I'll probably do it again. I mean I don't do a lot of buying these days, and I prefer to get genuine product over a recast. But sometimes it's like, man, I need the arm and fist from a Knight Lancer. I don't want to have to buy a whole Knight Lancer from Forge World, so I can spend, I don't know, $50 on one from China just so I can get that arm, and add it to my Forge World model. But I wish GW would go back to doing the parts thing that they did back in the 80s and 90s.
I so agree with that. That could save so many issues.
Yeah.
well,
Oh,
I
it creates an issue for them.
I don't condone to the China casts in the sense of if you can buy it at your local store, you should buy it at your local store, not buy the China cast. Now, Forge World being a completely different monster, I feel that I don't know what it is with GW and holding on the reins and not letting retailers get a hold of a retailer account with Forge World and stock it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what? How is that helping them? I don't, because you have two outlets now, three, I guess. You have online, you have the
Mm-hmm.
Citadel, and then you have Warhammer World, and that's it. You have three options: two physical, one in England, one here in Dallas, Texas, and then online, which is global, but still, it's just one of those things. Like, if you can let people carry it in the store, why don't you? What is the difference? Is it because it's limited? They can only make so many? Like, then they should maybe look at production running. Maybe running it in plastic. They can produce more. I don't get it. It eludes me. It's beyond me. I am not a captain of industry, so I don't understand what it just
I can
seems
only
like bad practice.
I can only speculate on that. I mean, we know that they don't produce on the level that GW does, since everything is resin based, and they don't use the injection mold system like GW's plastic miniatures do, um, and they don't sell like Games Workshop does. You don't see that everybody with a Tau Manta everywhere, or even a lot of Knights. You don't see a lot of those unless you go to like LVO, and then you see like 32 um, Fire Raptors on all the tables when they only sold like 10. But yeah, I think it's their production value is just not the same. But if they did, like you mentioned, drop down to plastic, and if they're able to justify that cost, because those die-cast molds they use are like tens of thousands of dollars, and if they're only producing, I mean, if they're only making, say, half a dozen or a dozen Knights with it, then they're probably not getting their money back. But I agree with you though on the go buy your stuff from Games Workshop or your local hobby store like Atomic Hobbies or Ed Games and Hobbies. Because the plastic miniatures are by far, far superior than anything China's going to put out. Those because plastic to resin is not good. They're very brittle. They fall apart. They're not cut. They don't get the same. They don't have the same fit. Just go support your local stores and get the actual bona fide plastic miniatures. Don't sell yourself short. Get the quality miniature that you need.
Well, Frank had a good point. I mean, they made a gargantuan squig off, and it's been sold out of Forge World, and or they don't carry it. They don't make it any longer, but every China cast does. That's one of those things. People are going to want that model. Well, where are they going to get it? Either on eBay for an exuberant amount of money, or super cheap. From China casts. Now, you're talking about some of the plastic stuff. I've seen such a range of China casts from so many different people, and some of it is actually really good quality. It's actually been better than Forge World resin, because a lot of times Forge World resin is garbage.
Yeah. I mean, they're producing fantastic models, but that process that they're using is not always the best. I would say maybe like 10-15% of the parts that come out of them are like really, like you said, garbage.
Yeah, and that it's always greasy.
Yeah, well, they don't. Well, the same with the China casters. They don't clean off the mold release, so you get that. That's why I don't know. Yeah, they tell you to wash it.
Yeah.
Give it a scrub. You really don't have to do that to the plastic models. I know I teased TJ about that. I don't do that. But because I've seen that injection mold process when we've toured the Games Workshop facility in Memphis before they moved all the manufacturing back overseas. And it's just two big metal mold pieces pushed together and hot plastic injected into it. There's no mold release, nothing else, just super cold and drops out. So you don't need to wash it. But the resin, yeah, because you don't want that caustic material on your hands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have you ever sit there and because I almost have a whole 30K of actual Forge World stuff that I bought, and I've had to wear masks because you know how when you file down like plastic, it just files down plastic. This one makes all that like cancerous dust or I don't know if it's cancerous, but I don't think that's good to breathe in.
No, it's not, because it's something that your body, it's not gonna be able to absorb and pass out. Yeah. So that's definitely not good for you to breathe in. So yeah, wear a mask. You might not want to wear those cheap 50-cent little paper masks that you can get at the grocery store when you're picking up your Simple Green to wash the miniatures that you ruined. So just grab that, get a pair of those cheap plastic goggles, because God knows how many times I've gotten hit in the eye by my stuff or my friend Clint. Look at you, Clint. Clipping parts of his miniatures off, and I get pinged in the face, or he's breaking windows in my house. I have no idea what type of sprue cutters that guy uses, but he clips something, man, it like pings off of 3 different walls.
Oh, I get the same thing. Like, so I have like really, really high ceilings in my living room. Like look, like really high. And I've hit that, and it bounced over into my curtains, and like I'm like, man, I'm glad that it hit my eye.
I mean, it's like afterwards I have to like look at the floor when I'm walking to the back room to get a vacuum cleaner, because it's like, I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't have the Lego issue, but I do have friends and sprue bits issues.
When you were talking, you made me really nervous for a minute, because in your hand, when I first looked at it, it looked like you had an X-Acto knife. but you were talking like this all around your face. You're like, yeah, it was flinging around everywhere. I was like, oh, please don't cut your face.
Yeah.
You don't have any hair to protect you.
I got a little bit of scrub here.
Uh,
But let's see. Before we talk about, I think we're going to talk about some Blackstone Fortress here, but I got to say, I read something today that I was a little, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I think I'm a little annoyed by it, but all right, so Orcs finally been released with a proper book after, I don't know, 4 editions at least,
oh, yeah.
maybe 4th or 5th. And the book, everything looks amazing. It looks so amazing that all the guys that were top meta players that were like, oh, I just do Yanari or I do Custodes and, guard brigades and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's ultra competitive guys. They're all looking at even jumping ship. They're all getting geared up for Orcs. They're talking about the Orcs and all the chatter on all the different channels. Man, it looks like Orcs are going to be fantastic. And we got an FAQ, I think, coming in 2 weeks that kind of help clean up some language. There's some really ridiculous arguments going online. I'm not going to get into those right now. And I seriously, what's that?
Arguments?
Well, there's one silly one where I don't know all the rules, but basically Reese from Frontline Gaming had to get on and kind of squash it. Something about the mech guns have a Gretchen crew. But the argument was basically saying that the mech gun could get a clan culture.
Yep, I remember saying that.
Yeah, which it's silly stuff like that we have to do these FAQs all the time. Is people are reaching for something that's really not there. So anyways, the chatter I was reading was like, okay, so Orcs aren't going to get hit by the nerf in. Or not nerf, but the adjustment coming with chapter approved, because they're going to get their little FAQ, and the timing of printing the book and everything kind of negates that. So they're saying, okay, everything's going to be fantastic. GW is going to pull GW, and people are going to buy tons and tons of Orcs between now and the spring FAQ.
Sorry.
And yeah, you know where this is going. And then they're saying that, okay, spring FAQ's here. Orcs are going to get nerfed. GW doesn't care because their plan worked. You bought tons of Orc stuffs, and they finally got rid of all those gosh darn stompas off their shelf.
Yep.
It's that sort of conspiracy attitude that it's very toxic and harming for our community. It's not necessary. If you think that the Games Workshop is conspiring to do that, this is the type of company that's been around for 30 years. They're not going to violate their integrity by doing skis waving at me. Hold on, John.
Wait. So, okay, as veteran gamers, let's take it back in Twilight Zone and look back in the day. Look at every codex from, we'll say, after third, because third was kind of the slow releases. When they started picking up releases and picking up models and stuff. Let's look at Dark Eldar. I know this one for a fact. What was it? What are the Scourges or Scourges, right?
Scourges.
They sucked for so long. No one bought them. They changed the rule.
They still suck.
They changed the rule for one edition, and everybody bought them. Ever notice that? Witches, same thing.
Oh yeah.
They changed the rules for them and I've seen it. And people buy it because the rules are good. That's how they clean up their inventory. Not the conspiracy of it's pull a fast one on them.
Yeah, I agree with that part. When they see that trend where nobody's buying our Scourges or what are the guys that kind of phase in and out of reality? Mandrakes.
Yes, Mandrake. The cool looking models too.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and put out a new codex that sells those models. But and I agree with that. They've got to push that product. Totally agree with that. It's just that concept that they're trying to screw people over by like, hey, we're yeah, buy all our stuff, ha ha ha, like some weird, old villain that sit there and curl his evil mustache, like, haha, we tricked all the players. Yeah, it's BS to think that they're going to do something like that. If they were like that, then they would have probably gone under like 30 years ago.
They would have went under when they started.
Okay, let me rephrase. They're smarty guy. Within the past 30 years, pick a point in between there, whatever you're comfortable with, they probably would have gone under. So, but that's my little rant about online. It's just frustrating. I see that, especially on there's a couple Facebook posts or channels like the ITC competitive 40K. Oh man, don't try to go on there because it's bad. I mean, it is toxic. I mean, it's just hate-fueled fanboys that think they own the property or they have insider knowledge. They know what the rules is intended versus rules is written is, and they understand the mindset that GW is trying to set.
So they're barracks lawyers.
Yes, they are barracks lawyers. Perfect.
There you go. I think, and so let me explain it for the viewers if they don't know. Us veterans going through the years of training and stuff, when you get in the military, you go to the barracks, you have these soldiers that think they know everything and they know every rule and everything, and they just think they know it all. And so they don't. They are never, like, maybe 0.0001% they might be right. And so we refer to them as barracks lawyers because they're the ones that, try to get you to do everything because they think it's right.
Yeah, like, oh, you won't get in trouble if you do this, this, and this. I know this.
Yeah.
I heard about it from this guy, that works over in the motor pool.
Yeah.
It's no, shut up, Todd.
Yeah. And so the best thing about the conversation about these barracks lawyers on a tabletop game, these barracks lawyers need to understand that unless they work for Games Workshop, and Games Workshop has, when they answer a question, it's like from John at Games Workshop or from Games Workshop PR, they are the confirming rule person, not somebody else that thinks they know how to explain a rule. If the rule's broken and you're looking for an answer, I'm telling you right now, asking everybody else in a community is great to understand it, but it's not finalized unless Games Workshop says this is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
So,
yeah. And I understand people are passionate about playing the game, especially orcs. I mean, even people that are not orc fans, I'm not a fan of orcs, but I look at it, it's like an opportunity now for me to actually play. The only orcs I like are the flash kits. So now it's like an opportunity for me to play them because they're viable, and everybody's super excited. I get that, and you're passionate about the hobby, you're passionate about the game and the product and all that, but I don't think people understand when they get online, they start spouting out their barracks logic, or their lawyering there, that they don't realize how that spreads, and then it becomes this horrible tidal wave of misinformation that, like that. I can't think of the name of the tournament, but the one that just happened recently. Lots of misinformation going on about padding numbers and stuff like that.
SoCal?
Was that
SoCal Open?
Was that the one?
That was the most recent large one.
No. It was a different GT that had happened, and I guess they were padding their numbers so they can get up to a major. And now I don't know all the details, and I can only speculate. But I know that Reese and Frankie and them had got on and addressed the whole issue and say, hey, there's a lot of misinformation going on out there. We're in communication with these people. We got it all worked out. We know what happened. We know what didn't happen. Case is closed. So all the rumor mill just cut it out. But it's that people passing that misinformation. It's like you're really doing more harm than any good just because you want 5 seconds of fame on the internet. Like, oh, you know what, Todd or Karen, they said this, this, and this. That means they're famous. They know stuff. No, it's just shut up.
Who's Todd and how did he hurt you? That's your go-to name.
Todd and Karen are my go-tos. I don't think I know a Todd or a Karen, but I know Todd came from. There's a stand-up bit from George Carlin, and everybody effing hates a guy named Todd. So it just kind of stuck with me. And Karen, man, I see so many memes with Brenda and Karen, but it's usually Karen. It's like, shut up, Karen. So those are my go-tos. One day I'm going to meet a Todd and Karen. They're going to be the most amazing people, and I'm going to feel like crap.
You should.
But not yet.
Did you guys see the sneak peek video for Age of Sigmar?
No. What?
Yeah, they put a video up for so we've been talking about, you got that troll with all the freaking mushrooms on him, and we got the goblin team with all the mushrooms on them, right? Issue. So they show this video, and it has these mushrooms growing out from the ground, and then they show the moon, and it's a Moon Clan Grot symbol inside the moon, and it fades to the Warhammer, blah 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 blah. So Destruction's getting a new Goblin army. Now, I don't know if it's a revamp of Moon Clan Grunts, which that will be. I don't know. I'm kind of. How do I say this? Trends. Like, we're all about trends. We always look at how they do things. Everything they've released for Age of Sigmar as an army, a new army, has been a new army. Now, they pulled some models from old lines to fill some gaps in those armies, but they're totally brand new. Moon Clan Grunt, on the other hand, have a lot of models per se. They've got the Fanatics, they got the bowmen, archers,
Battle Riders.
Well, that's a different branch per se, because that's.
Those are the wild. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the Moon Clan, they have they have this, I think, Squigs. They've got the Mangler Squig. I think that's part of the Moon Clan Grot. Like, they have a lot of release. So if they do a new army, are they revamping an old army, or are they actually going to do a new army? Because the last thing they did old was the Beast of Chaos, where they took all that old models, gave them a brand new codex to fill in everything together, and came out with the Hearthstone, the newest model. That was the only model. So Daughters of Cain is a new army with a couple old units from old Dark Elves.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of that lineup is new models. And that's what's kind of interesting to see is what are they going to do?
I think you're right. I don't know what the new name is, but I'm gonna say Night Goblins. So they had that special model from Malign Portents, right? And then they got the new crew for Shadespire. So yeah, I could totally see this happening.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Tyler's got a good question, and I don't know the answer. So weren't Daughters of Cain a mix of new and old?
Yes, but it's mostly new. Most of the lineup was a new lineup because they had all the snake bodies. They had Marathi. They had, and then they added the old Dark Eldars that didn't really have a place in the. And they just kind of pushed them in there. That they fit. The ones that they added actually fit really well. So, the rumor though for I've been heard it. It's been kind of quiet. But before this video was it's going to be the insecticide, not spiders, but it'd be like the fungal and insecticide type army where they're not saying this is what it's going to be, but like a centipede, like a freaking bunch of grots riding a centipede, or beetles, maybe like small, like nocturnal insect type deals. But again, who knows? I know we're still preying on the whole, let's grab all the dwarfs and throw them in a book. Let's grab all the elves that are still in the world and put them in a book. All the humans and free people, throw them in a book, and then everybody would be happy. But if that ever happens, we'll see.
So let me ask you. You guys seen the new models for Blackstone, right?
Oh yes.
Okay, so very beautiful models.
Yes.
Everyone is calling what looks to me as ratlings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're ratlings.
In and Out. That's their names, I think.
In and out. That's cool.
And they are ratlings.
Yeah, I thought they were ratlings, but people think they're
Not
calling
grots.
them grots.
No, because there's a person that put
Or-
it on the.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. The squats.
Squats.
But someone put that up there on one of the posts for Games Workshop, and they actually responded, and they're like, "No, there's not. They're actually ratlings." Because they're like, "What are these?" And that Games Workshop even said it. So they are ratlings.
They look like ratlings, though.
Yep.
Well, and I was under the impression when I was looking at the pictures, I think when we were talking about it last week, one of them looked like it could have been a squat. I was like, okay, that one's probably a squat. That one's definitely a ratling. But yeah, they're both totally ratlings right now. But you look at the miniature, you look at they've got the hairy feet, you know, that
They're hobbits.
space hobbits. So
Space hobbits.
I somebody had sent me an image. It's too blurry, but all the 40K point totals for the all the models in there. But it was too blurry for me to really look at. But looked like everything was under about 60 points per model.
Okay,
So.
at all the models in there is two squads of models on the chaos side that I'm very intrigued to see what they are. You've got the Beastmen, and then you got those two dudes with the deformed heads that look like the character from Green Lantern that got his head all, you know.
The Rogue Psychers.
Yes, like that. Those are amazing.
Yeah, and the only ones that we have of those is Forge Worlds. They have two Rogue Psychers that are absolutely amazing models. But these two, you're right, those are freaking amazing, Ski.
Yeah, and they're all push to fit. They're all easy build models, by the way. If no one knew that, they are easy build.
I hate easy build.
And that Chaos Lord is amazing. I don't
got a hammer.
Yeah, it's
We
amazing.
can never bring hammers.
Yeah.
And then, but okay, so answer me this, Batman and I don't know, Batman and Superman, I guess, I don't know, but I don't know. Looking at all the new models and I'm going to say new races, what do you think about the new armies, new factions? Because I know Dark Mechanicus, there's a squad of Dark Mechanicus in there.
Yeah.
There's the Kroot model.
Yeah.
And there's the Ratlings, okay. There's the Renegade IG. Cultists, aka Cultists, but they look like more IG to me. You've got the course Rogue Trader. You've got that robot with the freaking, was it a assault cannon?
The War of the Worlds robot.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many new models. Like, what do you think? I mean, I think it speaks volume on new armies.
So,
go ahead.
That the one with the mixture of everybody on the Chaos side. Are those supposed to be like Beastmen?
Yeah.
Chaos?
We haven't seen Chaos Beastmen in 40K since like Rogue Trader days.
Yep.
And then they came out with a bounty hunter recently. Forge World had the Necromunda one, but we haven't seen those since the Imperial Guard Compendium for Rogue Trader, when you could actually take them.
That's
not Imperial Guard, but you could take them with your Imperial Guard army.
Yep.
Yeah. And the blue guys, not the robots, but the blue guys that look like creatures, are those the Dark Eldar?
Yeah.
Yep.
They
hang out with Chaos now? I don't.
No, you have to look at the Blackstone Fortress. This massive feature that there's they kind of talk about it in one of the videos. There are multiple factions within there that are vying to get their hands on it. So just because you see Chaos Cultists, they might not be working with the Black Legionnaires. Yep. The Urgle might not be working with the Beastmen. So it's they're just adversaries in the game. So I don't think that's an inclination of what they're going to be all in the same force, but they're all just separate forces, I guess, best way to look at it.
Yep. separate entities looking for the same goal.
Yeah. Well, and what you're saying about what the kind of future releases ski, I'm in agreement. That I've talked about it before, probably many times before. We're gonna get a Lost in the Dam style, or I think it's gonna be like cultists and mainly cultists and mutants sometime next year, about the same time Sisters of Battle come out, and then an Imperial Agent one, because for like rogue traders, we've got all these Inquisitors floating about, assassins. They're going to get their own solid book because it's going to be a good business sense from GW's point of view to put those in a hardback book.
And you got the Navigator that needs.
Yeah, the Navigator. Oh, I was so surprised. The Navigators, and people don't know, in 40K lore, they're the only mutant that's allowed to function with any sort of without regulations or being hunted down and burned. But their third eye is extremely powerful. Like, they can destroy people's souls, basically. Or, if you follow the RPG that was out, a navigator could sit there and create basically a warp rift in space that could swallow ships. So, or kill with just a glance. But the fact that they included a navigator in there, which I don't think is going to be that powerful, I mean, that speaks volumes of what Ski's referring to, is that we're going to see something amazing next year with all these different entities, like from the Rogue Trader kit or Kill Team, and then this one.
Yeah, and I think I looked at it in detail, and it does give me a little feel of Silver Tower with the card. But what's even cooler about the card is it's like Shadespire, or I can't say Shadespire, Underworlds, because that's the actual game, not Shadespire is the edition. Is they inspire and you flip the card.
Yes.
And I saw that. I'm like, okay. Then you have your decks, then you have your boards, and it's supposed to be shifting. Everything shifts. You're never going to be able to, you should be able to, well, eventually maybe you play the same game, but everything's supposed to be an ever evolving campaign where everything turns and changes. You shouldn't play the same scenario twice, kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to it.
Which model is supposed to be the Navigator in this?
The guy with the thingy.
He has like a big hat that comes out to the sides. It looks like it's eagle wings that flare out.
I don't think it's a hat or his backpack.
I think that's his head. It's his helmet. Because navigators cannot. The original lore was they basically had these bandanas around, these really fancy scarves or bandanas around their head because they didn't want to reveal their third eye. And then now it looks like they're really pumping up that lore by putting those helmets on them.
Sure.
Yeah, and that could just be a unique house thing that navigator belongs to. Doesn't necessarily mean it's what they all do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only read a little bit about the navigators and kind of what they do and how they can. What was that?
That's just my phone being dumb.
Oh, about how they can guide an entire ship through the warp.
Yeah.
So it's kind of major. They're kind of a big deal.
They are kind of a big deal. They're one of the coolest ones because their mutations are, besides the third eye and their ability to do the navigating, they all have random mutations. You really don't know what's going to happen to them. They might have webbed feet, or they might have gills or sprout wings or something. It's like their mutation is permitted, though. Because these guys were pretty much, the Emperor was like, these guys are good to go. Don't F with them. And the noble houses are extremely, extremely powerful.
I like that flamer guy. He replaced a really old metal model, didn't he? Where the guy's holding the flamer down.
Yeah, I think that's
like the two flaming braziers in his pack.
Yeah, it was I think it was a member of an Inquisitor's retinue. I think Cortez.
It was.
But this one looks like a female, but it looks really freaking amazing. At least I think it's a female. Maybe I'm just imprinting my hopes and dreams.
I There's a bigger picture of it. It doesn't look female.
Okay, well,
Dude.
that's all right.
No, not female.
So what do you guys think of the new chapter proof coming?
I'm really excited about the orc stuff. About to customize the looted vehicles.
Because Sisters will be in there, the beta.
Yeah.
Farsight Enclave should be in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't mean, hopefully it's good. I mean, I don't know.
I tell you from a TO point of view, tournament organizer, for those people that are watching that don't know what that is, I am a little nervous. Not nervous, but I'm anticipating, because I try to keep up with all the different rules, interpretations, and everything. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm kind of I'm already worn out from seeing all the arguments and rules lawyering that's inevitably going to happen. And it's just, but I like the fact, if I look past all that, I am going to, or the complaining about I should say, not arguing about the rules, but they're complaining about how their army is no longer viable or blah, blah, blah. But I am looking forward to the fact that Tower getting their bodyguard back, and me, more importantly, the Sisters of Battle. I am super stoked about that.
So Sisters of Battle are going to be in it, or because they never came out with new models. That was
No new models.
a joke.
I think, what's that?
I said that was a joke when they were supposed to be coming out. You know, all they did was release Canonist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That single model.
Oh yeah,
Big bummer though.
that was a bit of a bummer, but
You said but.
I know between Forge World and Games Workshop, this will be I have a massive feeling this will be the new release for the year.
Yeah.
For next year, this will be the big new release on whatever month they do the big releases on. This will be it.
I'm betting right before May. Well, I'd say May or June. So either the end of the fiscal year or the beginning of the next one is when they're gonna drop it. They're gonna want to either start the year off right or close it out right.
Yep. But like, what is this? The one of their abilities, Order of the Bloody Rose, Quick Anger, add 1 to the strength and attack characteristics of all models with this conviction during any turn in which it made a charge move, was charged, or performed a heroic intervention. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
Yep. I think they'll be the next big go-to army. I mean, after orcs, I think people are going to be coming out of the woodwork. Oh, I've always played, Sisters of Battle, as I buy all my new models. And but I think it's going to be, they're going to be an amazing army. It's going to be for those people that can't stand Space Marines but don't like Imperial Guard. It's going to be a very good in-between army.
Maybe I'll just start Sisters Army. Just jump on the bandwagon. Hey, everybody else is doing it. Maybe I'll do it. I'll jump off the cliff.
I mean, at this point, I joke about the bandwagon all the time because it's very annoying to see people do that. But I really have to say, if you are chasing being a top tournament player, I get it. It makes sense. It's annoying, to be a loyal player to an army. For me, it was always Space Marines, and I still, even though I'm doing custodes right now, but that's for, a display army. I'm itching to do Space Marines. It's driving me crazy.
Well, you got some good box coming this Christmas to pick up just for your army.
I know.
And what's great is you can buy the Primaris box and the Imperial Fist box, and you're like, hey, cool.
I'm not going to lie. It is very tempting. But I got to finish these custodes first. But anyways, did you see that, especially for people that don't have access to Warhammer Community for whatever reason, the stratagem, that Burning Descent?
Oh, for Sisters?
Yeah. basically you can set the squad of Seraphim up. You can immediately shoot with that unit when they come down, as if it were your shooting phase. And for those attacks, the range of units hand flamers is increased to 12 inches instead of the 6. And yeah, so you deploy, you deep strike in, say 9 inches away. You get a free shooting before you move on. And then shooting phase comes around. I'm going to shoot again. It's going to be very brutal.
With flamers.
Yes. And then their bolt pistols, I'm wondering if they're going to keep that old like gunslinger rule that they had. If they had the 2 bolt pistols, they get to fire both of them. I'm hoping they keep that, and that this Burning Descent is not a replacement for that. Because that was one of the cool things about the Seraphim squads. Is, they had the double hand flamer or the double multi-pistol or bolt, and they got to fire both of them. So I'm hoping that this is not replacing that. So
then there's a campaign or some kind of thing going on with Xenos Warband's Plague Vigilus.
Yep, that's the one that they've been really playing up in with all the kill team boxes. They're all about Vigilus.
Okay. Then you've got the new Necromunda army, Agents of Delac,
I think.
Delac. Yeah, probably Delac.
Those guys
they look creepy and cool at the same time.
They used to run around with just trench coats on and like in bare chest.
Yep.
But now, man, these new ones, freaking amazing.
And then you have the new Night Vault army, the Dark Oath, which is the barbarianist type, kind of women-ish type deal.
Yep, I call it the Conan Warband.
Yeah, with the dog.
Yep.
And there's some tools coming out.
Yeah.
We got the Kill Team Command Roster tool, like Kill Team Building Roster, is in the works. Plug and play. No dates yet. And then you've got a deck builder for Underworlds coming.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm getting caught up on all the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out pretty much by Christmas. It's going to hurt the pocketbook, but at least it's not like, with the exception like the Orc Codex, it's not big releases. It's not like, oh, I'm going to spend $800 to start a brand new army. It looks like it's all going to be nice, affordable boxed games or boxed armies. So I'm happy about that after this brutal like 4 or 5 months that we've had of GW releases. Oh, I didn't realize that Jonathan was he's gone.
He took off.
Yeah. He said that was going to happen. So yeah, man, I just don't know what to do. It's lots of good stuff coming out, but I think I'm getting to the point where I've got to take a break from running tournaments. I know I say that every month and every year. And one of these times, it's going to happen. And it's not so I could play the game. I just need a break from running. It takes a lot to run the store and run a tournament. And thankfully, 8th edition, I don't have to answer a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But it's just frustrating.
Well, and maybe one of these days I need to run up there and see you at the store.
Yeah.
You have to come up there.
But I've got to start getting ready for, Alan and I were talking, we're going to start getting ready for
Warzone.
Yeah. I've already started compiling a couple lists of all the vendors we want to reach out to again and see what we can do maybe differently. I don't think they got enough likes or probably purchases. I want to try to find a way of tracking if they see an increase. So like let's get, instead of product from them, see if I can get a series of like promo codes, or still some product, but let's get some promo codes to hand out to people. That way they can track, okay, we just got 100 new purchases thanks to Warzone Houston, especially if we want to continue to grow. So,
well, and I'm slowly, and I say slowly, but I've written down some stuff for Warzone for the Age of Sigmar tournament. I'm working on that. But the cool thing, I'm actually really looking forward to it. I'm still waiting on the team tournament for LVO. If the rules, there's no rules for the Age of Sigmar team tournament, and so I don't know if I'm going to be doing it or not. But what's really exciting, the whole FNP, everybody is going to LVO this year.
I know.
Everybody. Even I talked to Ben, and he's going.
Ben, John.
Yep, John
the Viking.
Yep.
Alan.
Yep.
TJ.
Yep.
Everybody.
I'm really excited about that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I haven't touched my orcs yet because I'm waiting for rules for the team tournament. And I should bust them out and start finishing high quality paint jobs on them. But
is it the Age of Sigmar team tournament?
Yeah, it's on a Sunday. If you click on the spreadsheet that comes up, and you click on the actual, it's a Sunday tournament. You click on the roster on it, and you scroll down. There's no rules. There's no point values. There's nothing. So, because I've been debating if I'm going to do the championship, because being somewhere where you can do more than just play is nice. If I was going to Adepticon, then I would go full balls to the wall and play in every tournament, and every game, every day, like I did the year I went. But Vegas would be nice to be able to just play a game on a Sunday or on a Friday, but then you have time to just enjoy yourself too.
See, I'm playing in the big one, and Ben wants me to be his partner in the teams, and this will be my third year going, and I've realized that keeping that Sunday open is really nice, especially how hard I go the whole weekend.
Is it a Wargamers Con ×2?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no. Like ×8.
Oh,
come on.
That's even better. I'm gonna have GPSs on all you guys.
It was that'd be good. It was one point where I woke up because I had like 3 hours of sleep and I had to show up, and I was like, man, I'm still drunk. I was like, might as well keep it going. That's pretty much how the day went. So by the time I was playing my last game, I had a bottle of Moscato that I snuck in. And I was just drinking the whole thing.
Yeah, I tell you, Sunday I was wiped, and I played the RTT, and I hadn't realized that the RTT was single elimination. So I was like, all right, I didn't lose that first game that bad, so let's do the next game. I was like, what do you mean I'm not playing again? I'm like, I just paid $20 for one effing game. Yeah, I about table flip. I almost lost my mind on that one. I was like, okay, I'm done. I hung around, watched a couple of people play games, and then I was like, I'm going back to take a nap, man. Screw this.
I paid for it in the first year I went, and I couldn't get up. I'm that going. I went back to sleep. So I'll give someone $20 to go back to sleep.
Hey, Ski, I put in the chat right there a link. I think that's the doc for the rules document for the doubles.
They misspelled Sigmar.
Yeah.
They put SGIMAR.
What do you mean no Adepticon 12 neat?
No, there's no rules yet. Tournament house rules, nothing. Fully painted. There's no 25. Oh, so you updated a little bit. So 2,500 points. Okay. Or no, 1,250. Sorry.
Hey, 12 Neef. Yes, I would like to go Adepticon, actually. Hopefully I'll be able to get to do that
Each post needs to be
There
Vanguard.
we go.
All right.
On my list of things to do, like after this year, I've got to do LVO. I mean not only for myself, but it's like I said before, it's for my friend Ryan that passed away, and I need to go for him because he's never got to go. But after that, I think Adepticon, and I like to do
Nova.
Nova. Oh, Nova would be amazing to do.
I'd go back to DEFCON.
Maybe
DEFCON was a lot of fun.
Maybe
Is he cutting off for you?
Yeah, he's roboting.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure it wasn't just me. Yeah. John, do you have Dalo?
yes.
He's got carrion pigeons.
If the wind blows the wrong way, I lose my internet.
Oh, wait.
The wind blows the wrong way. I lose my.
Yeah. Natural wind or fabricated wind?
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
He needs to wear his tinfoil hat. That's what it is.
Well, every once in a while, I've got to like do this.
12 News said he wasn't impressed with Nova.
Oh wow.
Dude, I want to go to Adepticon because it just seems like the biggest. I guess it's more because there's goodies to buy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think that's like there's more vendors and stuff, and it's like the vendor hall at LVO is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but there's almost like 5 shops of the same shop.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, cool.
If you go to Adepticon, and now mind you, it's not as big as say Gen Con, but
It's big.
Obviously, but it's got lots, like you said, lots of vendors are there, and it's a con on top of a game convention.
Well, and it has a lot, and I mean a lot of seminars.
Mhm.
I mean, like crazy amount. And then that's not even counting. So you get the main game hall, well, the main game area for all the massive tournaments. That's not counting all the demo games or off the brand games that the vendors are doing as well. Or, I mean, it's huge. When they came back to Chicago, I went that first year they came back, and it was amazing. It just blew my mind. So I just can't wait to see how big it is now, because it was like 3/4 way filled already, and now it's probably all the way filled.
That's what she said.
And the Bits Bazaar guy is amazing.
uh, well, guys, I think it's a good stopping point. Looks like TJ never got packed. He said he's going to come join us after he got packed. He's going to like Disney World this week. He's leaving tomorrow.
Oh, my friend's down there right now on a honeymoon.
I think my dad's going. He's been going like every other weekend. He's got season tickets now, and he drives because it's like an 8-hour drive. So he's retired. I said, if that's what you like, go have fun.
So do Pain Boys give Grotz an FNP save? I don't know if that's a real. Is that you asking for real, Tyler, or is that a?
I thought they give him like they can take the wounds, right? That's the new thing. They can take the wounds.
Like you assign the wounds to the Grotz?
Yeah.
The walking shields.
Somebody said they imagine them as like little potions that the orcs eat.
They're vegetables anyway. They just gotta get the grains in.
Yep.
Like it's like spinach, Popeye.
It's a real question.
Okay, good, because that was like a very good in the window question.
I don't know. I don't have a orc code. Well, I do, but it's on the work computer.
It's 15 feet that way. Oh wait, no, that way.
No, it is 30 minutes away. It's on my work computer. Thank you. Well, that I don't know.
Yeah,
but I was talking to Jonathan a little bit ago, or before we started the show, and once I get a chance to talk to Ski and TJ, we might have a new thing coming up, a new kind of like on top of TJ's painting videos and our battle reports that we're going to be getting back in the swing of. So with any luck, we might be announcing it next week. So make sure that you guys tune in next week.
Next week. Same time, every time.
Yeah.
60% of the time. It works every time.
Unless YouTube goes down.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't cool.
No.
I had to look it up. I was like, there's something wrong. Why is my YouTube's not working at all? Anyway, everybody, thank you for participating. We really enjoyed the chat with you guys as always. And a special thank you for our Patreon supporters. And reminder, if you guys do support us on Patreon, I think the $5 one and up, you can actually join our FNP Elite chat on Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, we actually have a Patreon. What's that called? The chat that everybody uses. Discord. Boom. We have FNP Discord chat.
Never heard.
Yeah, Discord. It's like a kind of a chatting room thing.
Silver IP.
Free, but it automatically drops you in the FNP one if you sign up. So special thanks for you guys, and thank you so much. And everybody have a great night. Bye.
What are you doing?